want to have to do this. However, this is a defense of my reputation and my name, the brand I have built. I never wanted to have to do this. My name is Aaron Hugo Argudo. I'm a Marine Corps veteran and the founder of Coaching brand sdcforged. I am recording this to demonstrate my high accuracy games are the results of specific training protocol, not external assistance. Let me give you guys an analogy. In the Corps, if you shoot 10 out of 10 on the range, they don't walk off and call you a cheater. They call you an expert. In chess, I have trained my defensive skills to an 1800 plus level by starring exclusively with Stockfish and Max level depth, or Stockfish level 6. I have trained, and when I bring that intensity to a 700 rated game, the results look like a machine, but it's actually just discipline. Now I'm going to open a game, play against Stockfish, and show it to you. Right here, right now. Please no. Not only an embarrassment. So pathetic. So fucking pathetic, the world we live in. Let's go. Case against computer. Let's go, level 7. Get random pieces, 10:05 increments. Scandinavian defense. Oh, fuck. Yep, to calculate here. Of course, knight gets tempo on queen, controls light squares, this file's open. Immediately strike the center. Pin and knight wins absolutely pinned. And immediately, I get a chance to develop my bishop and take more squares geometrically. Simply to block the pin, the knight has access to these light squares. This bishop can go backwards to stop it. Bishop is attacking queen, pawn can stop it. Bishop has scope of this diagonal, knight can develop here, potentially reroute to here. Immediately go for a double attack. Knight defends pawn. Pawn gets tempo on bishop. Bishop may be forced to go back up here unless I want to get double isolated pawns. Even me now. One attacker, 2 defenders. Trade. Very simple. And a discover attack on the queen. Queen moves. And I simply just reset. Why? To control these squares and not to lose any material. Now both of these pawns are being threatened right here. How do I stop this? If a queen goes here, I go here. If queen goes here, I move my bishop. When queen goes here, then it's pointless because everything's defended. Rook defends this. Freaking bishop. There's no threat here. It's just gonna gain tempo and time, and it could just be a discover attack and trade on the queens once I decide to move my bishop. Now, the best move to do here is to simply gain more space, gain more control of the dark squares. Why? Because Stockfish's bishop is passive, and the light squares are covered here too. Let's even before I continue the next move. This is how I play so well by counting squares. 1, let's go. 1, 3, no, 1. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope. There, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 counts of square. Stockfish has 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. No, not 3 because that's defended. 3, nope, down there. 4, nope. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 13 the amount of space. Stockfish has 12 amount of squares. Let's continue. Now, look, Stockfish is threatening my rook. I need a way to stop. it. Why? Put the knight here. Queen defends knight. Rook is rook is safer now. It's very simple and fundamental. What I want to do is immediately trade. Why? Is to cause an isolated pawn here. Knight defends pawn, but pawn can get hunted at later and force more trades. This pawn is still defended by this knight. This bishop guards this pawn. These pawns continue to have these two squares. Immediately what I want to do is get my queen in a more active position and get this diagonal. Why? Because it contests for more space against the engine. And this square pawn is always threatened, but if the Stockfish ever decides to take, I just kick it out like that. Tracking. This threatens this and this, however, everything is protected. However, what I can do is gain more space, get a tempo on the queen, and continue to defend the center here, and continue to gain more space in the light squares. Now, most objective thing I can do now is to get more space. Stockfish is getting squeezed is by simply pushing the pawn. Why? Queen defends pawn. Everything is like a right triangle format. Everything has a purpose and a job. Purpose and job. As I continue to gain more space. Continue. Now, as I continuously, Stockfish still is holding this threat against my pawn. What am I going to simply do? It's just castle. It's an inaccuracy. However, there's always a watchful eye. If queen takes, here take. No, that's not correct. That's an inaccuracy on my end. Why? Because Stockfish could just simply still has pressure on this pawn, and if there was an extra defender here, Stockfish sack on the b file, go here, and simply force a trade of the queens in the next 3 moves. Let us continue. What do I want to do here now? Obviously, my knight's on a good outpost. However, I potentially want to reroute it to get closer to the king. Here. Okay, here. Yeah, basically locked in the bishop and jail to always protect these pawns. I'm rerouting my knight to try to, number 1, to potentially get this knight on this square. However, and to put the bishop in jail, but unfortunately did not work. Now 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. This is a fair trade. Why? Because there's 2 attackers and 1 defender, because the queen is behind the knight. The rook, you see immediately. As I said, right here, what did I say? Stockfish is going to try to go for this weak pawn square, and he simply defended the bishop. 2 attackers, 2 defenders. Queen is the 3rd one because of the discovering defender. So how can you guys say... Let me focus. Let me fucking lock in for a second. This pawn is weak right here. Right here. Stockfish is trying to get a check and to slam into the position. That's his objective right now. So what can I do? Put myself in an absolute pin for now. However, the bishop defends, but I cut off Stockfish's attempt to go for the check. Rook guards these squares, queen guards these squares. Obviously, Stockfish is going to continue to build the pressure. Try to go for a knight, try to make me slip up defensively. What I simply just do is force the knight to move. Even though my pawn structure is not the best and messed up right now, the whole point of this is to stop the attack. Stop it. Stop the attack. Now I have an opportunity to put my rook on the b file and pressure this pawn. This knight is basically stuck in jail for now, unless it wants to get k-traded off. This pawn tension is going to rip apart the middle of the board. This is why Stockfish never wants to trade right here. What you're going to simply do, put my rook on the dark square, threaten this pawn, put this pawn